Pemerintah Indonesia bersiap mengirimkan pasukan perdamaian ke jalur Gaza, Palestina dengan menunggu keputusan dari Dewan Keamanan Perserikatan Bangsa Bangsa. Rencana ini muncul setelah ada wacana bahwa PBB kemungkinan menyetujui pengiriman pasukan perdamaian karena Israel bersikeras melancarkan agresi ke Palestina. Lantas apa sebenarnya peran dan tugas pasukan perdamaian PBB? Pasukan perdamaian PBB sering diterjunkan atas persetujuan dari Majelis Umum, Dewan Keamanan Persatuan Bangsa Bangsa atau PBB, Sekretaris Jenderal hingga pemerintah terkait. Mereka turun ke daerah konflik untuk menjaga stabilitas keamanan. Melansir dari situs resmi PBB, lembaga internasional itu kini memiliki lebih dari 97.000 personil militer dari 120 negara yang dikenal sebagai pasukan perdamaian di bawah bendera PBB. Pasukan perdamaian PBB memiliki sejumlah tugas untuk berbagai keperluan seperti melindungi warga sipil dan personel PBB, memantau perbatasan yang disengketakan, memantau dan mengamati proses perdamaian di wilayah pasca konflik, memberikan keamanan saat pemilu, memberikan keamanan di seluruh zona konflik, membantu pelatihan personel militer dari dalam negeri hingga membantu mantan gerilyawan dalam melaksanakan perjanjian damai.
Other multilateral institutions that we authorize to perform the missions on our behalf. There are over 150 countries that either participate or have.
Perdamaian dunia tidak bisa terwujud hanya dari toleransi maupun harmonisasi hubungan antar negara. Melainkan perlu adanya kerjasama dan komunikasi baik yang berkesinambungan antar negara-negara di dunia untuk mencegah terjadinya konflik. United Nations atau Perserikatan Bangsa Bangsa memiliki tujuan untuk menjaga perdamaian dan keamanan dunia. Namun hingga kini masih ada negara-negara dunia yang berkonflik. Untuk membahas kondisi keamanan dan perdamaian dunia, sudah hadir bersama kami Mr. Piere Francois Renaud Lacroix. He is the Under Secretary General for Peace Operation of the United Nations. Hello, Mr. Lacroix.
Hello, good to be with you.
Yeah, welcome to Indonesia.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much for your time here, and it's really honor we having you in the CNN Indonesia newsroom today. So, about your visit in Indonesia, could you share about your some insight into the primary purpose on and key objective or your visit to Indonesia? Maybe it's about your main topic that you discussed during your meeting with the Indonesian government.
Well, it's very important to be in Indonesia because Indonesia is one of the strongest supporters to the UN and particularly to UN peacekeeping operation. It's a country that is in the top 6 troop and police contributing countries to UN peacekeeping. And we have currently more than 2,700 brave men and women from Indonesia serving in very difficult very difficult situation, conflict situation around the world, in Lebanon, in the Central African Republic, in the Democratic Republic of Congo, and many other places.
Wow, that's a lot of support from Indonesian government for this keeping for world peace. I mean, to ensure world peace is not easy, Mr. Lacroix. What are some of key challenges challenges that United Nations peacekeeping force and currently facing in their operation worldwide? It's not easy, you know what I mean?
No, absolutely. First of all, currently we have a divided world, and we have a world where, unfortunately, the number of conflicts has increased dramatically. And also these conflicts are becoming, they're evolving very quickly, and the peacekeepers, and including the Indonesian peacekeepers, they're facing with, for example, the current situation of hostilities in southern Lebanon, between Lebanon and Israel. They're facing the threats of armed groups in places like the Democratic Republic of Congo or MINUSCA. So they need to adapt to these challenges, and the service and the professionalism and the dedication of Indonesian peacekeepers is really outstanding. So what we're looking at together with Indonesia is how can we continue to do our best to address these very difficult situations. And I want to emphasize that in this very challenging situation, the peacekeepers from Indonesia are making a tremendous difference. Every day they're protecting civilians, they contribute to protecting ceasefire, so they make really a tremendous difference for peace.
Wow, yeah, we hope we can make better place, better future and world peace. But following your recent meeting with the Indonesian government, you told me about there's a lot of contribution from Indonesian government. So what its key points or commitment were discussed regarding Indonesian government, and what the future role in the peacekeeping mission for the futures?
First of all, I think there is a very strong commitment from Indonesia to continue supporting peacekeeping, and I think I highly appreciate it. And I think there's also a very strong commitment from Indonesia to work together with us so that we can be better prepared for the future. So what does that mean? For example, today we see increasing influence of digital technologies. How can we respond to that? How can we also work better to address misinformation and disinformation, which has really become a weapon in conflict? And how can we also work better to address key drivers of conflict, like the impact of climate change makes conflict even worse, the impact of transnational criminal activities, and how can we work together so that the training activities will, and particularly the training of peacekeepers, will be up to the task, will be adequate to the needs of peacekeeping tomorrow.
Good. If you are talking about the condition in Indonesia, we already give contribution for the peacekeeping missions, peacekeeping mission in the future. Maybe how so far it's really important to support this mission from Indonesia?
Yeah. Well, I mean, there are many ways in which to support peacekeeping. I think the political support to the UN, to the idea of the UN to resolving conflict through dialogue, to political efforts, which is something that is strongly supported by Indonesia, is very important, because everything is political at the end. The conflict needs to be solved through dialogue. But then, in terms of supporting peacekeeping, Indonesia is really working and doing its best to provide us with the best and the bravest men and women from the police and the armed forces, and that is critically important to us, because we need to have this highest level of professionalism, dedication, mindset, the highest level in terms of conduct and discipline also, which is something that we really appreciate with the peacekeepers from Indonesia.
Wow, that's a lot of appreciation from the United Nations for Indonesian government, because that's a lot of support we give to the United Nations for this mission, right? So after this, from Indonesia, we will talking about the condition in the Gaza. Mr. Lacroix, maybe could you elaborate on the minimum condition that need to be met to deploy a peacekeeping operation? How it's possible to apply in Gaza?
Okay. Well, there are certain basic conditions for the deployment of peacekeeping operation, and they apply to every situation. They would apply to Gaza, they would apply to any other situation. And first, there needs to be an agreement. There needs to be cessation of hostilities. And the cessation of hostilities is the priority, as you know, as far as Gaza is concerned, to stop the suffering of the people. So for a peacekeeping operation to be deployed, there needs to be an agreement between the parties. They need to agree that there would be such a deployment of peacekeepers. But then another critical condition is there needs to be a decision by the United Nations Security Council, because we do not decide, I do not decide, or anyone in the UN Secretariat decide to send peacekeeper. It has to be a decision by the member states in this body which is responsible for peace and security, according to UN Charter, which is the United Nations Security Council. But I also believe that the deployment of peacekeepers anywhere, it has to be accepted by the population. We should not be seen, we cannot be seen as some sort of occupant. We need to be seen, the peacekeepers need to be seen as agents of peace.
The agent of peace.
Agent of peace, exactly.
Yeah, that'll start by the single person, maybe in one country, to spread the positivity to keeping peace in their country too. Maybe you have a message to our people in Indonesia and to our government.
Certainly. I think the the same way as we are very proud of the Indonesian peacekeepers, I think the Indonesian people can really be proud of their peacekeepers, you know, the brave men and women, and also very proud to what they are doing in support of peace in the world.
Well, based our conversation today, it's really not easy to realize world peace, but we need more about the communication, commitment, and also about the hard work to understand each other country. So it's possible to make world peace and better future.
Absolutely, and
Yes.
we should never give up.
Yes, we never give up. Well, Mr. Lacroix, it's just amazing conversation. I hope it can spread the positivity and give any information for the people in Indonesia society and of course people around the world to keeping peace. Okay, thank you so much. Dan itu tadi perbincangan saya dengan Mr. Lacroix, salah satu yang memberikan gambaran bahwa perdamaian itu sangat